For 92 days a year, our favorite sport of football turns into our favorite soap opera.
He's now going to be playing in the Premier League for us.
Huge breaking news.
Wow. So,
I'm still trying to make sense of it all.
Football fans, this is a joy-filled time of year, don't you think?
The transfer window is where expectations are set, dreams are realized, and even fights are trapped. And among all of those twists, turns, and endless drama that it brings, there's one man at the center of it all. This is the rise of Fabrizio Romano. This universally loved Italian journalist is more than just a master of his craft. He's the benchmark, the gold standard, a sort of icon who's blurred the line between journalist and influencer. But how did he get here? How does he always have the first scoop? And why do fans trust him more than even their own family? Let's dive in. We start in the city of Naples, where a young Fabrizio had a dilemma. His family of doctors hoped he'd pursue a stable career, maybe something as prestigious as medicine. But the boy he needed a role in football. But unlike all the other boys, his dream wasn't to be playing on the field, but to be writing about it. And so, that's what he did. As a teenager, Fabrizio would work for a modest Italian paper, profiling young and up-and-coming players. It was this practice that led to the first breakthrough of his young career. Out of the blue, Fabrizio received a call from an agent. It's actually still a mystery to this day how he got his number. The agent wanted him to profile two of his clients, the young Gerard Deulofeu and Mauro Icardi. We all know these names now. They went on to have pretty significant careers, and the latter especially is what gave Fabrizio his shot in the limelight. The journalist did the scouting, wrote the profiles, published them, and the agent was actually so happy with his work that a month later, when Icardi was on the move to Sampdoria, the agent let Fabrizio break the story. It wasn't earth-shattering news, but it set the ball rolling. A year later, when Icardi was on the move again, well, the agent once more approached Fabrizio. And this time, it was for a move to Inter Milan. Getting that first taste of breaking news was like scoring a goal in the Champions League final, as Romano puts it. The news was a bomb in Italy, everyone was talking about it, and this young journalist was at the center of it all. It was Fabrizio's first taste of transfer news, and he fell addicted. That breakthrough was only the beginning. Fabrizio, still, who had just started his journalism career, was now moving to Milan to work for Sky Sports. The city is the heart of Italian football. Every important Italian figure in the game lived there, so it was perfect for Romano to build a network. But he wasn't just handed contacts on a silver platter. He hustled. From dawn until dusk, he was out and about trying to get the latest scoop from nearby agents and executives. Eventually, he established not just professional contacts with them, but genuine friendships. He even says to this day, this is why he's able to get such good information. He saw them as more than just colleagues. And learning from industry giants like Gianluca Di Marzio, Fabrizio learned a lot about the industry very quickly. What also helped him undeniably was the everlasting change to journalism in general. Fabrizio's rise over the last decade has also been simultaneous in the rise of new media. The days of earning a living writing for newspapers or TV networks may slowly be coming to an end. And recognizing this, Romano eventually began leaning more into the world of social media, cultivating an independent connection to fans on top of his work with Sky. It was a relentless workload to be taking on at such a young age, but it was Romano's relentless work ethic that eventually made him gain prominence in the sport. Fabrizio says he slept just 5 hours a night, had a daily screen time upwards of 20 hours, and would be taking 50 phone calls per day. To relax, he says that he would stay up into the early morning hours playing FIFA. What a guy. But the hard work paid off. Through the late 2010s, Fabrizio began being at the forefront of more and more deals. Window by window, fans discovered his platform and subscribed to his reliable transfer news. Eventually, he left Sky to become a freelancer, and it proved to be quite an excellent decision. And during this time, while gaining more prominence on his social media, he'd also give birth to an iconic saying.
Here we go catchphrase, first of all, was not planned. One day I was tweeting since weeks about a potential transfer for Manchester United, but I don't even remember the player really. Because one day at the end of this story, of this saga, I said, okay, finally it's done. And I tweeted, here we go, like saying, finally it's over. Then the day after, I was tweeting about Liverpool, about Chelsea, about other clubs as always. And they started to tell me, Fabrizio, can we say here we go also for this other move? And I said, Okay, I don't understand why, but they were asking me to approve these moves, saying, here we go. And okay, I said, let's try. So I was putting this, here we go, for another transfer the following days. I was absolutely not planning for this, but I love Here We Go because it started with people and it's still exciting people.
If you know Fabrizio Romano, you know the significance of Here We Go. It's kind of gospel, right? The catchphrase represents a sort of end to a transfer saga. If your team's in for a player, you know once it gets that stamp of approval from Romano, whatever deal he's on about is gonna happen. The guy never misses. And now, fast forward a few summers, and it seems every year Fabrizio is reaching new heights. More and more is he not just putting out correct information, but he's putting it out first. But even putting that aside for a moment, there's more to the intrigue of Fabrizio Romano. He's not the only one putting out valuable transfer news, but what separates him from the rest is his unparalleled connection to fans. He's an icon now. Romano's interactions, his media appearances, his over 62 million followers across social media makes him more than just a journalist. He's a bridge between clubs and fans, a football influencer, if you will. His popularity has got clubs involving him in their transfer announcements. He was featured on Forbes 30 Under 30, and the guy even has teams from other sports asking him to announce their signings. He's got more followers on Twitter than the likes of Man City, and even Juventus and Bayern Munich. Yet, he's still a humble guy. You'll see him plastered all over the biggest TV networks 1 hour, and then he's on a small football podcast the next. Fabrizio's niche is unlike any other in sports, and so is his journey. He's quickly mounted to the top of football journalism, and that is no coincidence. Thinking back on his upbringing in Naples and the old wishes of his parents, Romano says they still don't really understand how his job even works. If I had to guess though, they probably just have to look at their boys' results and think, yeah, maybe it's good he didn't become a doctor. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and as always, if you enjoyed the production, you can show your support by giving it a like and hitting that big red button for me. And go down below and let me know your thoughts on Fabrizio Romano, and as always, I will be sure to get to it. With that being said, my name is Julian, and I'll talk to you all very soon.